Okay, so getting to the red flags and spilling all the secrets. Um, there was no proper interview. Anybody who's worked retail or even an office corporate job, you go in, you dress quite nicely. Um, they say your name, come with me. They bring you into a room, have an interview. They ask you about your life, your situation, da da da, yada yada yada. With this one, it was so sketch. And again, I never worked on the boardwalk before, so I had an open mind, and um, I was like, okay, this is just must be how they do it on the boardwalk. So that day they told me to come in the next day at 11. I get there, around about at 11. I'm Here I am just mind fucking blown that I got a job at a very, very, very famous landmark. And so what happened was, I'm gonna be honest, from COVID, I don't have a good memory, but I will tell you everything that I do remember. Um, I think I told them that I'm recovering from COVID, and I was like, I need a job, something of that nature. Um, alright. So here I am coming from square one, zero gravity. I had sneakers, but they weren't good. They were from my old job, which I was working at Burlington at the time. Or I'm sorry, I lied. When I got COVID, I was working at Boscov. I had sneakers from my previous job, which was Burlington, and I'm telling you, those sneakers are good for like picking up your kid, going to the park. Um, what else? Running errands, maybe going on a date. Those sneakers were not good for a 9, 10, 11, 12 hour shift. The boardwalk I do know is open, I think 12 hours. I think they're open till 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. during the summer. And I personally was just not equipped for that, going from zero to 100. Okay, now I remember. The interview, like I said, I didn't have a proper interview. This was over the phone. I called before I went there. I called the day before and I was like, are you hiring? The girl said yes. So I think she gets Danny, or Danny has a brother, but he's going to come in later to the story. Um, and I just said, what's the dress code? And I think Danny or the brother said, just look nice, jeans and a nice top. I was like, all right, maybe this is just for day one, just so they can see, like, who I am and my work ethic. So that's what I did. I dressed in skinny jeans and a black, because black is my go-to for an interview and work and whatnot, unless they say otherwise. But that's when I showed up, and they started asking me questions like, do you know the show? How long have you been watching? I said, oh, I'm an OG. And anyone who knows me from here, they know I am genuinely a sweetheart. I'm a nice girl. Sometimes I think I'm too nice, but that's a different story, for another time. But, it wasn't fun. I'm gonna tell you right now, and if you see this video, I want you to send it to everybody that you know, because I don't want anybody working at that store. As mean as it sounds, I want that store shut down, because they are doing a lot of illegal things, and here I am gonna tell you all about it. So on the first day, they make me a t-shirt. It was a black t-shirt, and they're like, what color license plate do you want? Pretend this is like the wall. And I was like, oh, let's do neon pink. And they're like, oh, what size t-shirt are you? I said, I don't know. I mean, I like to wear 4X, but, I'm clearly not a 4X. I was like, let's do an X large, maybe a large, just to, like, give me some extra wiggle room. Okay, sorry, I thought a car was pulling into my driveway. So, what ended up happening was after I got my t-shirt, they were taking me on a tour all around, like, the building and where everything was and the t-shirt designs and everything. And I am telling you right now, I don't know if it was just me or they do this with everybody, but number one, you don't see the same person working there ever. Like, I think what happened was after I stopped working there, I don't want to spoil it. After I stopped working there, I went to Seaside again, I think with my family. I can't remember why, but maybe it was just an outing, maybe it was just a family day at the beach, but I walked by there and I see a whole the girls that I and the group that I was working with, completely different. Completely different. I was like, am I a trendsetter? Did they leave too? And it was still the same summer. It wasn't that long. Which is a huge red flag. If a workplace has a turnover in a couple of weeks, months, that is the biggest red flag in a workplace ever. And what happened was I met Danny, Danny, the one that owns the house and the t-shirt shop. He's a total sweet. He was the nicest out of all of them. But his brother took me on and to train me and show me around. His brother actually is named Paul, ironically. And what happened was he was going so fast, didn't let me absorb anything, didn't let me, like, write anything down. I'm gonna reenact it for y'all, okay? If we're in the t-shirt shop on Seaside, he would be like, okay, and these t-shirts blank are like 2 for $5 or 2 for $10, and then they get, they pick a design, add that on. Each design of this size is this price, and the big designs are $10, but you have to try to upsell them, and if they want 3 large designs, that's $15-$20 right there, and if they want to, like, mix and match, and, like, he was going off like a machine gun, and it was so fast. And for me personally, for someone that has a learning disability that needs to slow it down and dumb it down and things explained differently, no, I am not stupid. No, I am not retarded. My brain just works differently, okay? Let's get that straight. And I had my phone, and I was like, I am listening. I'm trying to take notes here. He goes, yeah, that's fine. But at the speed in which he was, like, rapid firing, there was no way for me to learn. So I was taking pictures, and I was like, okay, I'll write it down in a notebook later when I get home. Oh my God, and the t-shirt designs. Oh my God, how could anybody learn? You don't even have to have learnings. How could anybody learn with how fast he was doing shit? Like, he's like, okay, and this is where Snooki's is, and this is where Paulie's is, and this is where Mike's designs are, and, when he was saying Mike, Snooki, and Paul, like, not that they personally designs themselves, but, like, they would have, like, a shadow or, like, what do you call it? Like, the outline of her poof or the outline of her face. Same with all the characters. They'd have, like, their catchphrases and their faces and whatnot. And it's gonna cut me off now.